So students, in the last lecture, in the chapter of graph theory, we have seen the definition of a graph. There we have seen the concept of a graph, how it has arisen, and then we have seen that the graph G is consists of the vertex set and an edge set. Okay, and we were denoting this by G equal to B comma E, where B is the set of vertices and B is always non-empty. This also we have seen, and E is the edge of a set of edges, and whose endpoints are the vertices. So it can be represented by E1, E2, E3 or by the pairs of vertices. Pair means the endpoints of the vertices. Now let us see more definitions. Order of a graph. The order of a graph is nothing but the number of vertices in the graph G. The order of a graph G equal to BE is the number of vertices in the graph G. That means actually the number of vertices is nothing but the number of elements in the set V, and this is denoted by modulus P. This is known as cardinal of V. Sometimes we also call this as cardinal of V. Okay. For example, if we have a graph, say so here we can see that V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, and the edges are say E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6. Okay, so there are 5 vertices. So the order of this graph is 5. Order of this graph is 5. So you must note this, that the definition is very simple. Then another definition is size of a graph. The size of a graph G equal to B comma E is the number of edges in G. That means number of edges means the number of elements contained in the edge set E, and it is denoted by modulus E. That means cardinal of E. For example, in this graph, we can see that there are 6 edges. So its cardinality is 6, and here the cardinality of B is, that means the order of graph is 5, and the size of the graph G is 6. Okay. And then, okay, you not notice definition. Both the definitions are very easy to understand. Now let us see another definition of a self loop. And students, you must remember the definitions because the definitions are coming in the examination. Okay. So self loop. What is this self loop? That I will write down first, and then I will explain by means of the example of a graph. Okay. The self loop is nothing but the edge whose end vertices or terminal vertices, sometimes we also call them as end vertices, are identical. Identical means same, is known as a self loop. Okay, or simply we sometimes also we call this as a loop. Instead of self loop, we sometimes simply call as loop. So here in the definition you can see that self loop is nothing but the edge. The edge whose end points are same, then that is coincides. Suppose here I will draw one more edge. Suppose this is the edge, say E7. So you can see that the edge E7 has the end points, that means the starting point and the ending point, both the terminal points are same. That means V3 is the same ending points of the edge E7. Therefore, we call edge E7 as a self loop. So it is known as a self loop. Okay. So self loop is also very simple. The other edges have different endpoints. Suppose E4. E4 has V1 and V4. Both are different vertices. That means different endpoints. E1 has also different endpoints. Okay. So self loop is this one. Then let us see another definition. Parallel edges. Here one thing you remember that whenever we draw the edges, then this is not compulsory to draw the edge in a straight line form. You can draw the straight line in any form. In this form, suppose I will draw one more edge, suppose here, and I will give it the name, suppose E8 between. So I have drawn this in a curved form. So you can draw this in any form. The not compulsory to draw this in a straight line form always. Okay, but straight line is preferred whenever it is not required. So now we go for parallel edges. Parallel edges, that means parallel edges, when we talk about parallel, then we must talk about more than one edges. So here we will talk about two edges of a graph G equal to VE are said to be parallel edges if both have same terminal vertices. So that is the two edges who have the same terminal vertices, same endpoints are known as parallel edges. Okay. So here if we say about E1 and E4, E1 and E4 are not parallel edges because E1 has the end vertices V1 and V2 and E4 has the end vertices V1 and V4. But if we talk here about E3 and E6, E3 and E8, then we can see that both have the same end vertices V3 and V4. So E3 and E8 are known as parallel edges. Okay. Then we will define one more thing: simple graph. Simple graph is also a very meaningful graph. That means the graph G equal to VE, which is free from self loops and parallel edges, is called a simple graph. Okay. So it is very easy to understand. The graph, you can once if you understand the meaning of a graph and the definition, meaning of the definition, then you can write down the definition in your way with proper meaning. So here simple graph we can write that the graph is said to be a simple graph if it does not contain self loop and parallel edges. Okay. So here we can see this graph. This graph contains self loop. Also it contains parallel edges. So this is not a simple graph. But if I will draw another graph, suppose this is the graph. Say V1, V2, V3. These are the three vertices and E1, E2 are the edges. So this graph you can see it has no self loop. Also it has no parallel edges. So it is known as a simple graph. Okay. So you write down all these definitions now. And you can draw the graph, any kind of graph, but the graph must contain the required meaning of the definition. If it is self loop, then you draw the graph in such a way that it should contain a self loop. Suppose here in this graph, I will add this, then it contains self loop. Okay. Now, let us see another definition, finite graph. It is also very simple. If the graph G has modulus V, that means number of vertices and number of edges, both are finite, then the graph G is called a finite graph. And if at least one of these one is infinite, then the graph is known as infinite graph. बोलो क्या ले लो तो पच्चीस ले जाओ थोड़ी वाले ना आगे जरूरत है. Then let us see another definition, adjacent vertices. So see, this kind of this definition is very much important. You must understand and you must remember. And I told you that definitions are always coming in the examination. And if you are knowing the meaning, then you can write the definition in your way. Okay. So adjacent vertices. Obviously, adjacent vertices means we are talking about two vertices. So two vertices are called adjacent vertices if they are the endpoints of the same edge. Okay. Or in other words, you can see here two vertices are called adjacent vertices if they are the endpoints of the same edge. Or in other words, we can also say that the end vertices of an edge, end vertices or the terminal vertices of an edge are called adjacent vertices. Suppose we have the graph is say like this. This is the graph. V1, V2, V3, V4. Okay. So here are four vertices we can see. So if we talk about V1 and V2, we can say that V1 and V2 are adjacent vertices because they are the terminal vertices of the same endpoint. V1 and V2 are adjacent vertices. Okay. Similarly, V2 and V3 are also adjacent vertices. V3 and V4 are also adjacent vertices. But if we talk about V1 and V3, they are not adjacent vertices because V1 and V3 are not the terminal points of the same edge. So this definition is also very much clear to you. The next definition, let us see incidence. This word is also very much important to you, and you must remember this definition, incidence. Okay. So incidence, that means incidence. Incidence means the contact position. That means if a vertex V is an endpoint of an edge E, then E and V are called incident to each other. So incidence relationship is between the edge and a vertex. Is between the edge and a vertex. Okay. So if V is that means a vertex V is an endpoint of some edge E, then we say that V and A are incident to each other. Okay. So here we can see that if we talk about V1 and E1, V1 and E1 are incident with each other. V1 and E1. Similarly, V2 and E1 are also incident with each other. E2 and V2 are also incident with each other. E2 and V3 are also incident with each other. Okay. But here V1 and E2 are not incident with each other because E2 is the edge, but V1 is not the endpoint of E2. So E2 is not incident to V1. That means there is no incidence relationship between V1 and E2. But there is an incidence relationship between E2 and V3 like this. So they must be connected. They must have the relation. And this is known as incidence relationship. Then we will define another thing, adjacent edges. Adjacent edges. So here you can see that we have defined adjacent vertices. Adjacent vertices, that means the endpoints of an edge are known as adjacent vertices. But here we want to define adjacent edges. So here adjacent edges means, first I will write the definition, two non-parallel edges. Obviously here are the adjacent vertices, means we are talking about the two vertices. That means here suppose V1 and V2 are adjacent because they are the endpoints of the same edge. Here we are talking about two edges, two non-parallel edges, not parallel. Okay, non-parallel edges are called adjacent edges if they have a common terminal vertex. First you read the definition carefully. Two non-parallel edges are called adjacent edges if they have a common terminal vertex. Okay. That means suppose here I will draw one parallel edge, say E3 and E4 are parallel edges, we can see because their endpoints are same. So here actually they have common terminal vertices both, but we will not consider them as adjacent edges, E4, E3 and E4. But here, if we talk about E2 and E3, E2 and E3, you can see E2 and E3, then these two edges have a common terminal vertex, common point between. So E2 and E3 are said to be adjacent. E2 and E3 are said to be adjacent. Similarly, E2 and E4 are also adjacent. E2 and E4 are also adjacent because they have common vertex between. E1 and E2 are also adjacent edges. But here, E1 and E4 are not adjacent. Similarly, E1 and E3 are also not adjacent edges. So, two non-parallel edges are said to be adjacent edges if they are incident with a common vertex. They have a common terminal vertex, or we can also say that if they are incident with a common vertex. Because incidence means if one vertex is an endpoint of the edge, then edge and vertex are said to be incident. So two non-parallel edges, suppose these are, if they are incident with V2, common vertex, they are incident with the common vertex V2. So these are known as adjacent edges. So you write down these definitions. So all these definitions are very much important, and you must differentiate adjacent vertices and adjacent edges. So now I will rub it out. Now, let us see another definition. Degree of a vertex. Now, this is the main point, and slowly we are going to the main part of the graph theory. Okay? So, degree of a vertex plays a very important role in the study of graph theory. So, degree of a vertex. That means we are concerned now with a vertex. Okay. So the number of edges incident with a vertex is called a degree of a vertex, and here one thing important to note that an self loop is counted twice. Okay, so you read the definition. Just I will draw a graph. Suppose V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, and you always draw the graph by using a pencil. Okay, so here are the edges E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, E8. Okay, So you can see this is the graph G. This is the graph G. Okay. Now we want to see about degree of a vertex. As we have seen that the degree of a vertex is nothing but the number of edges incident. Recently, just before of this definition, we have seen about incidence. Definition of incidence. This was telling that a vertex and edges are said to be incident with each other if a vertex is the end point of an edge. Okay. So here, suppose I want to find out, and it is denoted by d of v for some vertex, d of v, degree of v. So here, suppose we want to find out degree of v1. So let us see how many edges are incident with v1. We can see that e1 and e2 are incident with v1. So there are two edges. So degree of v1 is 2. Suppose we want to find out d of v2. D of v2. How many edges are incident with this? v2, 1, 2, 3. e1, e2 and e3. So its degree is 3. Then degree of v3. Degree of v3, how many edges are incident with this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Degree of v4. There are two edges are incident with this. So 2. Degree of v5. Again here we can see that here are two edges incident with this. So it is 2. Degree of v6. Now see. Here E7 and E8, two edges are incident with this. But I told you that self loop is counted twice. So here actually 1, 2 and 3. So its degree is we will count as 3. Although two edges are incident, but the degree of V6 is 3 because self loop is counted twice. However, you can see this point and lines emerging in V6 is known as the degree of that vertex. So you must observe how to find out degree of a vertex. Okay. So you also note down this. Then we will see a very much important theorem. And this theorem can also be asked in the examination. Here from the graph you can see that degree is the number of edges incident with the vertex. So when we counted the degree of V1, then we have seen that E1 and E2 are incident with V1. So degree of V1 is 2. Here degree of V2 is 3 because E1, E2 and E3. So here we can see that E1 has also acted 1 degree acted to count degree 1 for V1, as well as the same edge has counted degree 1 degree for vertex V2. E2 has also counted 1 degree, given 1 degree to V1 and given 1 degree to V2. E3 has also given 1 degree to V2 and 1 degree to V3. So you must observe this. You must observe this. That means we can observe from the graph that each edge counts degree 2 for the graph. Counts degree 2 for the graph. So you must remember this point because we want to make focus of this point in the theorem. Theorem prove that the sum of degrees of all vertices in a graph, all vertices in a graph G equal to B comma E is always even, is always even or twice the number of edges. Okay, twice the number of edges. So now, as I told you in the last example of the graph, that you must remember the point that each edge counts degree 2. So here the proof is very simple. I told you that in graph theory, all the proofs and solutions of the examples are very easy. Once if you understand the concept, once if you understand the meaning, then you can write down the whole, you can put the whole situation in your own words with proper meaning. Okay, meaning must be preserved there. So here we want to prove that the sum of degrees of all vertices, that means the total degree of vertices in a graph G is always even, or it is twice the number of edges. So we can do it very simple. We know that in a graph G, now we will write it simply G, each edge counts degree 2. Counts degree 2. This already we discussed in the last example. So we will make a use of this sentence. That means we know that in a graph G, each edge counts degree 2. That means what? That is, each edge contributes degree 1 to each vertex. Okay, we have already seen by taking the example of the graph that each edge contributes degree 1 to each vertex. Okay, because it has two endpoints. One endpoint contributes 1 degree to one vertex, and the another endpoint contributes degree to another vertex. Okay, so if by using this concept, if there are n vertices, suppose n vertices, and capital N edges, or E, always we will use E, number of edges in G. So we suppose that there are n vertices in a graph G and E edges in a graph G. The total number of edges is E, small e. And suppose these vertices are say V1, V2, V3, Vn. And suppose the edges are say E1, E2, say EE actually. But we will not write down this. Actually, you should not write down this. For your knowledge only, I have written the number of vertices here. Okay. So now we will make, what will happen now by using this sentence, degree of V1 plus degree of V2 plus degree of V3 plus degree of Vn is nothing but twice E, because we have seen that each edge contributes degree 2. So obviously in a graph G, total number of degree is twice the number of edges. That means it is 2 into E. So this is the proof of the theorem. Okay. So we can say that total number of degree is even number because it is multiplied by 2. Also we can say that it is twice the number of edges. So you note down this theorem, write down the proof. You can also write the proof in your own words. Okay. Now let us see another theorem. Prove that there are always an even number of odd degree vertices in a graph. This proof is also very simple. You just try to read the statement of the theorem and try to understand what is given and what is to prove. So now see, this means what? Suppose here is the graph. So you can see that the degree of this vertex is 1. The degree of this vertex is also 1. The degree of this vertex is 3. The degree of this vertex is 2. The degree of this vertex is 2. The degree of this vertex is 1. So here we can see that this is even degree, this is even degree, but this is odd degree, this is odd degree, odd number. If the degree is an odd number, that means 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. Then we say that this is odd degree vertex. And if the degree is 2, 4 or 0 degree, 2, 4, 0 degree, 6 degree, 8 degree, then we say that they are even degree vertices. So these two are even degree vertices. So here from this graph we can see that the number of odd degree vertices is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All these 4 vertices have odd degree vertex. And this number of odd degree vertex is even. 4 is an even number. Okay? So the proof is also very simple. Suppose that means let V1, V2, Vn be the even degree vertices. That means all these vertices have even degree. That means either degree 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 like this. And let U1, U2, Uk be the odd degree vertices. The proof is very simple. You can prove. We want to prove that the number of odd degree vertices is always even. So here the number of even degree vertices is n. As per our assumption, the number of even degree vertices is n and the number of odd degree vertices is k. Okay? The number of odd degree vertices is k, and we want to prove that k is an even number. So n is the number of even degree vertices, and all these vertices have even degree, but this may be odd or even. That means the number of even degree vertices may be odd or even. Okay. So now see, because suppose here in this graph, just I will remove this edges and I will just join this. So you can see that there is only one even degree vertex, but odd degree vertices is always even. Okay. So here I have assumed that n even degree vertices and k odd degree vertices. Okay. Therefore, degree of V1 plus degree of V2 plus degree of V3 plus degree of Vn is always an even number, because all are having even degree. All are having degree, so that total is also an even number. Okay? But we know that from the previous theorem, from the last theorem, that the total degree is always even. That means, but we know that degree of V1 plus degree of V2 plus degree of Vn plus degree of U1 plus degree of U2 plus degree of Un. That means the degree of all the vertices is always even, because we have already proved in the last theorem that the total number of degrees even or twice the number of edges, so it is even. Okay, but and we have seen here that this path is even number, so we take this on right hand side. So what will happen? Therefore you must sign, because we are using the another step. So degree of Un equal to even minus even. That means it is also an even number. Okay, so now we can see that all these degrees are odd. All these degrees are odd, and their total is even. So what can we say about n? What can we say about n? That is the total number of these vertices, u1, u2, u3. Here is uk. Total number of vertices is uk. So what can we say about total number of these vertices, uk, u1, u2, uk? If there are 3 vertices of odd degree, suppose 3 plus 5 plus 7, then what will happen? 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 7, 15. It is odd number, it is not even. So if it is even number of 10, so we can say that 3 plus 5 plus 7, suppose another is say 9. So what will happen? 9 is 24. So all are having odd degree and that total is even. Therefore we say that k must be even. K must be even. That means total number of these vertices is even, and these are what? Odd degree vertices. Therefore number of odd degree vertices in a graph is always even, and this is the proof of the theorem. You can see. So you can try to draw any graph. You may have even number vertices, even degree vertices may be even or odd, but the odd degree vertices must be even. So this theorem is also very much important. This proof can also be asked. So you also write down the proof, and as well as you can get practice of this theorem. So you write down this theorem with the proof and practice during the remaining time of this lecture. So whatever the definitions and theorems I have shown to you over here, you may try yourself and practice. Okay? Thank you.